Hey there, Nancy, Drew, Clue, Crew. What's up? I'm Maura, aka HA Fan Forever, and here is my second video walkthrough of a Nancy Drew game series for Message in a Haunted Mansion. Now I'm choosing to do a walkthrough of this game next, because this was the game that introduced me to the series. While Treasure in the Royal Tower was the first I ever played, it was my sister who, when she got this game, introduced me to the PC game series. So I watched her as she played it, but she never solved it until I first solved Treasure in the Royal Tower and then helped her solve Message in a Haunted Mansion. So this is special to me too. It's another favorite, but that's because this third game in the series introduced me to the rest of the series. So it was after I saw my sister playing this that I decided to get one for myself, which was Treasure in the Royal Tower. She ultimately couldn't solve it at first, like she seemed to hit a dead end, and so did I with Treasure in the Royal Tower, but after I finally solved my game, I just decided to help her solve this one. So now I'm going to start playing my walkthrough of Nancy Drew Message in a Haunted Mansion.
Hi, it's Nancy Drew. Welcome to my latest cyber mystery.
Cyber mystery.
Message in a Haunted Mansion. Choose your difficulty level to start off. If you're new to adventure games, you might want to click on the tutorial button to learn how to play the game.
Well, I'm gonna go with Junior Detective, as I said, just because it's easier for me.
Dear Bess, hello from stormy San Francisco. This time I'm staying in a beautiful Victorian mansion. You'd love the room I'm in. It's full of old Chinese furnishings and some interesting knickknacks. The owner of the house, Rose Green, is a friend of Hannah and asked me to come out and help her with some renovation work. She and her friend Abby hope to turn the place into a bed and breakfast by next month. But from what I gathered, Rose isn't sure if she can open in time. Ever since they started the renovations, they've had a lot of accidents. Could it be just bad luck, or is there something more sinister at work? I'm sure I'll find out. Love, Nancy.
Okay, so here we start in Nancy's room. Now, before I move on, exit and meet the characters, I want to show you what I believe is actually the titular Message in a Haunted Mansion. This poem right here.
Listen, my child, to this story of dreams, and know that the beginning is more difficult than it seems. When the 10 daughters are reunited in order, when the four-sided box loses its border, when the eye of the phoenix is in your hand, when the bird of fire can see again, when the moon sleeps and the sun plays, the king of the sky will shine his ray, and hidden beneath a river of colors will lie a gate to golden wonders.
So notice here that in each line of the poem there's a word that's a different color highlighted, if you want to describe it as such. So then back to here, what I want to show you is that there's a purpose for that. First, starting off, you can find
when the 10 daughters are reunited in order.
So what this means is that each line in the poem is are highlighted because we are going to find them on different things within the house with the Chinese symbol of that very word next to it. But why are we finding symbols of these words? Well, the reason will come out or be unveiled by the end, towards the end of the game. Now, first person we can meet here is Rose's friend Abby.
Hello, Nancy. I see you've arrived safely from your long journey. But I'm sensing an aura of danger around you. I can tell you're an inquisitive type, a little skeptical, and that you don't believe in ghosts.
How do you know I don't believe in ghosts?
I know many things. I know how to communicate with the spirits, and I know things about people that they don't tell me. Call it intuition or ESP. The spirits in this house are interested in you, especially since you don't believe in them. Watch out. They may give you a rough time just to get your attention.
Does your intuition tell you who could be behind these recent accidents?
I'm not sure. but for some reason the name Valdez has a strong connection with this mansion.
Well, you'll be the first to know if I find a ghost floating over my bed.
Do you dare mock the supernatural? Just bear in mind what I've told you about this place. Spirits of the deceased can do unimaginable harm, especially to those who don't believe. Now, if you will please excuse me, I need to prepare myself for this evening. At that time, more will be revealed.
Okay, so it sounds like she's meditating,
She sounds busy.
but we can't talk to her now until after we've talked to everyone else. So before we meet Rose, let's speak to the handyman of the house, Charlie.
I should wait until he leaves.
Hi, you must be Nancy. My name's Charlie.
Nice to meet you. Rose and Abby really have their hands full with this house.
Yeah, most of these Victorian mansions need a lot of work. But I don't mind getting my hands dirty, you know? This place will look great once it's finished.
I can see that. But what do you like to do when you're not renovating Victorian mansions? Any hobbies?
I'm taking classes at the local community college. I really like history. That's why it's neat to live. I mean, work here. Because everything is so old. It's got real character.
What do you know about the history of this house?
Not much. Lewis told me it was built in the 1880s and that it survived the 1906 earthquake.
Who's Lewis?
He's an antique dealer, I think. I guess he does consulting work for Rose, like on Victorian furnishings and stuff.
Do you have any idea why there's been so many accidents on this project?
I have no idea. People are blaming me, but it's not my fault. I know what I'm doing. I know how to do this work. Listen, Nancy, I really need to get back to work. I'm repairing some floorboards, so be careful walking around. Rose is looking for you earlier. Maybe she has something for you to do. See ya.
Alright, now let's go talk to Rose. So here's the schedule for everyone. So, Lewis, we won't meet right away. Because he won't come till noon. So, there are some things to do.
When the bird of fire can see
There's
again.
another symbol with the line from the poem. Okay.
Hello, Nancy. I'm very glad you could come out here. We can really use your help, seeing how far we are behind schedule. Are you all ready to do some renovation work?
I sure am. This house must have quite a history. What do you know about it?
Not very much, but Abby found some interesting old papers that might give us clues about the history of the house. They're in the parlor if you want to take a peek. There's also an old-time saloon in the basement, so it's possible the house was once a hotel.
Last night, you mentioned some accidents. What exactly happened?
I don't know where to begin. It started out with some small but irritating things, but then the scaffolding collapsed, and just last week we had a gas leak. I really don't know whether I can stand much more of this. I would love to have a week without any accidents.
That's too bad. And you've done such a terrific job with the renovation. Do you know much about the original owner?
Almost all the records on these old houses were destroyed in the Great Earthquake, so we don't know much about the origins of the place. Abby thinks all our accidents were caused by some restless spirit or a curse. I'm not one to believe in bad luck, but it's been one thing after another.
Yeah, I don't believe
Maybe
in bad
Charlie
luck
doesn't
either.
have the expertise for these renovations,
But I don't think
his rates are so
this is a
affordable.
mere coincidence,
I
right?
sometimes wonder,
But
though,
I
if
don't
this
think
old
it's the
house
work
would be
of,
worth more burned to the
spirits or
ground.
curse.
Enough chit-chat.
I
Hannah
don't
tells me
believe
you're a
you.
real pro with puzzles. Take a look in the corner. Those wood tiles should fit inside the inlay pattern of the floor. Abby and I tried for hours, but it's just too complicated. I'm sorry for not introducing you around, but everyone posts their schedule here in the dining room. It's kind of like Command Central. Let me know how far you get with that puzzle. And thanks again for helping us, Nancy.
Okay. I've done this so many times, it's a cinch for me. So what you want to do is, to succeed, you have to have the shapes line up like this, but there can't be any spaces in between. Put that there. Let's do the square next. See if you can see on the right of the square here, there's a space. Can't have that there.
I did it!
Alright.
How's that inlay puzzle coming along?
I finished it!
Wonderful! But now I've got something else for you. I set up a ladder upstairs so you can chip off the broken tiles on the hallway ceiling. You'll need to look around for a chisel or paint scraper for the job. I'm not sure where Charlie keeps them.
How did you find Charlie?
He just showed up one day. It was really odd. I remember Abby and I were in the basement talking about hiring someone to help us. 20 minutes later, the doorbell rang and there stood Charlie, looking for work.
Yeah, that is odd. How is it he came just 20 minutes after you guys were talking about
How did you meet
hiring
Abby?
someone?
She was the drama coach back in River Heights, and we worked on a couple of plays together. My bid on this house was too low, so she pitched in her savings to help me get the place. If it weren't for Abby, I couldn't have afforded this place.
What is Abby planning for tonight?
She's putting on some kind of seance tonight to contact these ghosts or whatever she thinks is causing all of these accidents.
Seance.
I can see you're busy. I'll let you go.
Bye, Nancy.
That makes me roll my eyes. I did click on this, right? Just to be sure.
When the bird of fire can see again.
I'm not going to scrape off yet because there's what's that? The chair's moving or rising up. That's a little strange. Ooh, portrait right up of the house. Okay, it's 10 o'clock, so it's a while before Lewis comes. But before I forget, like Treasure in the Royal Tower, game time passes very quickly in this with 15-minute increments, so in like less than about 2 minutes is 15 minutes, but I think a whole hour is like 5 minutes perhaps.
It's good to know it's here.
Fire extinguisher. Does that mean there's going to be a fire later in the game? Here are the papers that Rose mentioned. Wow. Okay, that was a little creepy. Look at this. The tiles are missing.
It's stuck.
Oh. So once we find them all, maybe that'll open up something. Okay, so we can't get in. We don't know his password, but this is Lewis's virus. I mean, laptop. So you can play the maze game, which I love to do, and this always changes whenever you decide to, if you decide to play it. But you can move faster if you hold down the control button, which is what I love to do. Let's go. Looks like we gotta turn around. There it is. when you see something like that in a corner just lighting up, that's where you've reached the end. So this tells us his passwords, so like his laptop. All the rest say not available. Another Chinese symbol from the poem. So, a lot of these earliest games, when you zoom in on something with the magnifying glass turns red, means you're onto something, obviously. So, by, clicking on things like these books, it obviously means that maybe not all of them, but some of them are emphasizing on something crucial that's going to be part of the game, maybe solving puzzles. Well, as it turns out, yeah, there's a piano in the basement. Let me show you, and we are going to have to play a puzzle, use that to solve some kind of puzzle.
It's stuck.
Yeah, if something like that's stuck, then it means that we're gonna, but we don't know what we need to play, so we'll just have to wait. But I do want to show you here in the piano bench, there's something else with a Chinese symbol next to a line within the poem.
And hidden beneath a river of colors.
So we still have an hour before Lewis comes. But I'm not going to chip off the tiles to get the paint scraper, because if I wait, it'll lead to a series of events that are just happen faster than if you try to do it now. You'll find out, like, what I'm saying is you'll find out what I mean after the seance. But looks like the dumbwaiter might be stuck. The rope is cut. A little dramatic there. I wonder if that needs to be fixed or what we can do to fix it. Okay. Oh, look, it's a picture of a phoenix like in that book. I wonder if this will become significant any other time later.
It's missing an eye.
That's interesting too. And look, the stairwell's covered with ornaments of phoenix heads.
I see you.
Where'd that come from? Who sees us? Oh, another puzzle perhaps? Yes, indeedy. Oh, it stairs creaks. So I'm just waiting to do anything else before Lewis comes.
It's stuck.
Okay, maybe we can find a screwdriver, see if there's something under here. Who knows what we're about to find within this house. How is meditating like this preparing for a seance? Ay, ay, ay. Okay. It's funny how these older games work, because if someone's supposed to be there to schedule time, strange thing is they might not show up immediately, so... But if I wait here and not within the library, then Lewis is bound to show up. If you just wait right in the place where they're supposed to be, of course they won't come. So as I said,
It's missing an eye.
So it's missing an eye. I wonder where we'll find it and what, if it'll have anything to do with this here. Okay, hopefully it should be here by now. No, like I said, sometimes if it's... Strange thing is, even when I first played this game with my sister, and I first played this game, or I would watch her play it, Lewis wasn't there immediately. I don't think it was because we were waiting there in the room for him, but, I don't know, what's the deal with the games, just how it works. There we go.
Hello. I was so wrapped up in my book, I didn't hear you come in. My name is Lewis Chandler.
Pleased to meet you. My name is Nancy Drew. Are you a friend of Rose?
Yes, I'd like to think so, but I'm an antique dealer, and a client told me that Rose and Abby had recently acquired the estate. I'm an authority on the Victorian era, so they were only too happy to let me use the library in exchange for my advice on the renovations.
You must know a lot about the house's history.
Actually, I'm a bit in the dark about this particular property. However, as far as Victorian mansions go, I don't see anything remarkable about this one.
Abby thinks the mansion is haunted.
Does she? There have been documented cases of hauntings in older mansions. And I might add, not all of the hauntings were by friendly spirits.
What are you using the library for?
Research. This library contains many rare books and documents that predate the Great Earthquake. It was quite a find for a student of the Victorian period, such as myself.
What do you think could be the cause of these accidents Rose has been having?
Accidents? I know Rose has mentioned some inconveniences like that wall covering and the light supplies, but I would hardly call those accidents. I'm sorry, but I'm quite busy at the moment, and although I'd like to talk, I really don't have the time. Please, excuse me.
Okay, so now that we've spoken to everyone and they had said they can't talk now, let's go talk to Abby, because then that'll start the seance. So just remember these stairs creak here.
The spirits wish to speak to you, Nancy. Tonight, I will channel their energies to deliver a message. Meet me down in the basement, if you dare. Please sit down.
We really don't have time for this.
Let us begin. We are gathered here tonight to contact the shades of those who have passed before us. gaze into the crystal ball. It will answer all of our questions.
What's that?
Who has called me forth from the great beyond?
We have. Are you the spirit known as Valdez?
I was once called that in the world of the living.
Are you the spirit who has caused these accidents?
I have come back searching for her, my wife. Where can she be?
The spirits have spoken. The seance is over.
We've got a busy day tomorrow.
Oh, one
and
thing
no
I
more
forgot,
time for
since
these
they
games,
don't-
Abby. And
we
make
never
sure
see
you blow out
Nancy.
the candles
That's
on your
supposed to be
way
right
out.
here, that
I don't want to
shadowy
wake up
figure.
and find the house on fire.
Oh, that was a creepy sound.
It's stuck.
Okay, so looks like we have to pry that off with something. Did you see that shadow? It's coming from in there. There must be a speaker in there with a recording. I don't think it's actually a person. Yeah, you get to the vent, gets louder. Alright, now I want to do what I wanted to do. With everyone gone, I can get some vital tools that I want to bring with me when I use the chisel to find out under those tiles. So, if you go closer here,
It's stuck.
probably need a crowbar to pry that off. A key. Oh. She was faking it. Just with a projector and a tape. And let's see if we can get a screwdriver here. What the heck was that? Okay, first I want to go in here too. Oh look, her mug has the Her Interactive logo. You'd be surprised to find out a few of these earliest games have the Her Interactive logo on most random things. In a future walkthrough I'll play Stay Tuned for Danger, and I'll see if I can find all the Her Interactive logo, things that have the Her Interactive logo on them. Okay, that's a little unsettling, that sound, I mean, and the lights going off by themselves. Voices whispering. Could this house really be haunted? Here's a chisel. Oh, but first, let's go back to Nancy's room to pry off that bed knob. Because all these little tools, most of these little tools here are things that I need. These keys, at least these keys, for what we're going to find under the tiles. And all the things we're going to find and what we're about to find. So, it's a lock to the attic. That's what this key is for. Soon the lid was uncovered and she pried its lock open with her crowbar. Well, that's a clue, because this here, we're going to need it to pry this off. But before I get into that, let's at least look around. That's what this key opens, this little desk. Picture of Lizzie Applegate. Did the owner know her? E. Valdez. Golden Gardenia. Well, if this house really was a hotel, that must have been its name. The Bandit's Treasure.
There's something hidden here.
Yes, there is. Look at these 5 symbols. They're circled. Ooh, maybe they're what I have to play on the piano downstairs.
Is there more to this music than what I'm seeing?
When Nancy asks those rhetorical questions, you just have to second guess the answer. Ah, look, another symbol with another word.
I know that the
From the poem.
beginning is more difficult than it seems.
Okay, I took a crowbar from there. An iron. Wonder what this could do for us. Oh, and look here, one of the missing tiles. Okay, so there is something we can do with the iron here. Tie it to the rope here. Well, that won't exactly fix the dumbwaiter, but it'll free it, in a way. And let's see what is in it.
When the eye of the phoenix is in your
Another
hand.
symbol. Okay, so then there's one tile left that is actually in the library. I didn't want to pick it up right away because I wanted to wait to put it down. Oh, that's strange. These roses are dead. Okay, it's around here.
It won't fit.
Okay. Well, we'll look at it later. Now let's go to the piano, see what that does. Maybe this house is haunted. Okay, so those 5 notes, I've memorized what the piano notes look like, not on what they look like on the piano notes on a music sheet, or notes on a music sheet, which letter is which, but having played this game so many times, I know what the letters are that need to be played, so it's B, E, G, A, G. So, maybe must be some kind of code. So, let's take it back up to that music sheet in the attic. Find Diego on stairs. Okay, it seems every time you go up here, you just
Stuck.
have to use the crowbar. You'd think once would be enough to get it unstuck, but no. Before I do that, let's just set it for the morning and talk to everyone, except, well, we don't need to really say much to Lewis, but...
Morning, Nancy.
I was yawning in real life just now. Okay, so let's speak to Abby.
I hope you're convinced now that the spirits are with us. These ghosts are here to stay.
I'm convinced that this house is haunted. I'm just not sure who is responsible.
Isn't it obvious? Senior Valdez and his wife, long-lost soulmates wandering aimlessly in the netherworld, returning to this house to search for each other. I only hope that one day I will be able to reunite them so that they may find peace.
Yeah, now let's confront her about the faking it.
I found out how you rigged the seance table with a projector. That was a pretty good show you gave.
Okay, so I staged part of the seance. But that still doesn't mean this place isn't haunted. Seances were very popular during the Victorian era, and I plan to entertain our guests with them. It'll be a great way to promote the place.
Have you been creating these accidents to help your promotion?
Of course not! I've had nothing to do with these accidents. They cost us both time and money. If you want to find out who's behind the accidents, ask our resident handyman.
What kind of person is Charlie? He seems to feel bad about all of these mishaps.
Ugh, it's clear to me that Charlie's totally responsible for the accidents. Who else could it have been? He's a really nice kid, but he has no idea what he's doing. Unfortunately, Rose doesn't want to fire him. And there's something suspicious about him.
Do you know much about Lewis? It must be great having your own expert on Victorians.
He owns Chandler Interiors, a very reputable antique store. I'm sure his clients will be quite interested in our bed and breakfast once they hear about our resident ghost.
Have you seen the poem in my room?
Oh, I love that poem. Listen, my child, to this story of dreams. How does the rest go? It was there when we bought the place.
I saw those papers in the parlor. Where did you find them?
Right in my room. They're so vintage. I'm going to ask Lewis if he can get me some antique frames for them. Rose and I can use the letters in our historical display.
Historical display?
Yes, they're very popular in bed and breakfasts. They usually contain old photographs, letters, documents, things like that.
Were there any photographs with the papers?
I did find this old picture of a woman dressed in men's clothing. I think it was taken in the entryway by the staircase. I sent it to a photographer to have it restored.
Was there anything else in the photograph that was odd?
I don't remember anything else.
I heard someone crying in the hallway. Was that you?
I told you the spirits were interested in you. Was it a woman crying?
Yes, it was. How did you know?
It must be one of our phantom residents.
Do you think it was a ghost?
Well, it wasn't me crying out there.
You mentioned Charlie was suspicious. How so?
The other day, I was down in the basement working for over an hour, and suddenly he sneaks up on me. I bet he was down there the whole time, watching me.
How long have you known Rose?
A couple of years. She has good business sense, but I think she needs to think more about advertising. Otherwise, we're just like all the other B&Bs in this town, and believe me, there's plenty of them.
Did the house come with a lot of furniture?
There were a lot of pieces and knickknacks left behind, like the books in the study, your bed. I think it was too large to take out of the room.
I'll let you get back to what you were doing.
Bye.
Okay, let's talk to Charlie.
Hey Nancy, I see you survived Abby's seance. Man, that Valdez guy sure sounded creepy.
I guess. Were you down here then? I don't remember seeing you.
Rose told me all about it. So how are things coming along? Anything I can help you out with?
Can you tell me more about the accidents?
I'd really rather not talk about that right now.
Have you ever heard of someone named Valdez?
I've heard of a Diego Valdez. He was a wealthy rancher who lived in the 1800s. Yeah, I just read a book on him for my history class.
Did he have any children?
No, he was sort of a hermit and never married, but he was extremely generous. He gave away thousands of dollars.
How do you like working for Abby?
She's not bad. She can be a little weird. I think she gets on Rose's nerves sometimes.
Abby thinks the house is haunted. Do you?
I'm not sure. Let's just say I wouldn't rule it out. But that's Abby's department, not mine.
How does Abby get on Rose's nerves?
She always does the disappearing act whenever Rose needs her to do some work. And I think Rose has sort of had it, you know?
Have you seen the poem in the Chinese room?
Yeah, I've never seen anything like that. It almost sounds like there's a hidden message in there, you know?
I'll let you get back to your renovation.
Bye.
How are the tiles coming along?
I'm all finished, but you should know what I found.
I'm sure it's very interesting, but unless it's really important, I've got other things to worry about. Let's see. If you're any good at fixing things, there's a dumbwaiter in the hallway that's not working.
Okay, really this is why I waited to, another reason why I wanted to wait to scrape the tiles, because I wanted to tell Rose this, because with using the iron you can at least free the dumbwaiter, and this only comes around once, so just, well, because if you do it, don't do it right away, you can't tell her later, because she'll have it tell you to do it, but if you just do everything like I did it, then you can tell her that you fixed
I
it
already fixed
in
it.
a way.
Sort of.
You have? Well then, I don't have anything for you to do right now. Why don't you take a break? There are a lot of nooks and crannies to explore. Maybe someone else could use your help.
Where did Abby find those papers that are in the parlor?
She told me they were in her room, which surprised me since it was completely empty when we moved in. Now the room you're staying in was crammed with furniture. I think most of it was original with the house.
How do you know Louis?
He stopped by one day to introduce himself. He seemed awfully curious about our property, but he's an antique dealer specializing in the Victorian period. He's been extremely helpful advising us on authentic decor.
Have you heard of someone named Lizzie Applegate?
No, I haven't.
Do you think Charlie is responsible for these accidents?
Abby thinks he is, but I'm not sure. I really trust in him, and I'm willing to give him the benefit of the doubt.
Does Charlie live around here?
He told me he just moved here from Iowa, but doesn't have a place of his own yet. He said he's staying with friends.
Why are there dead roses in the parlor?
Are they dead again? For some reason, they seem to die right after I buy them. It's strange. I've never seen that happen before. It must be the weather or something.
I can see you're busy. I'll let you go.
So long.
Okay, now, let's do the task of finding Diego on the stairs. Remember those, on the, do it right here. It looked like these railings move. Well, yeah, you have to find Diego's name. Spell out Diego's name. Egg. Oh, good. So there's a false floor here, and look what it reveals. Looks like some kind of key. I can barely read that. I think I've never really bothered to do that. Okay, it's important when after you do that, go to your mansions, go to room, and then leave because it triggers something. Oh, someone's on to us. Well, let's see where this goes. Because then that will trigger this. A fire! That's what that's for.
Fire!
Gotta do it before it's spirals out of control.
I talked to everybody in the house, and none of them can figure out what caused the fire. Maybe I should take Lewis's advice and cut my losses before it's too late.
What did the fire department say?
They think the fire was caused by sparks from the fireplace, since it doesn't have a screen. And I specifically told Charlie to buy one. How could he have forgotten?
What was Lewis's advice?
He has a client who might want to buy the place. Someone with more experience and money to finish all of the renovations. No, I am bound and determined to stick with this house no matter what. Nothing can drive me away. I don't care if it's fires, earthquakes, or Mr. Valdez with his gang of ghosts.
Excuse me for prying, but why did you spend so much money to insure the house against fire?
For protection. I've put my entire life savings into this house, and if it goes up in smoke, I'll lose everything.
You found any rainbow designs in the house?
Rainbows? No. Not that I can remember.
I can see you're busy. I'll let you go.
Bye.
Okay, now we gotta talk to everyone else about the fire.
Hi, Nancy. I can't believe we had a fire. I can't believe it. I bet Charlie was down there before it started.
Why do you say that?
Because he's always around at the scene of these accidents. I told Rose to fire him, but she won't listen to me.
I'll let you get back to what you were doing.
Pax vobiscum.
Wonder if that's a Latin phrase.
Hey, Nancy. Hey, there's been another accident. You gotta believe me, I didn't have anything to do with it. Just hope Rose doesn't blame me for this one.
Rose mentioned the fire screen you were supposed to get.
But I did buy it. Lewis told me that it was the wrong type and said he'd get another one, so I returned it.
And that's all there is to it?
Everyone thinks I'm causing these accidents because I was always the last one there. But I had nothing to do with them. I can tell you this. There's something unusual going on in this house.
So, do you have any proof?
I'd better not say any more. Sorry.
Who was the last person you saw in the parlor before the fire?
I've been working mostly in the basement, but I think I saw Abby go through those papers right before the fire.
I'll let you get back to your renovation.
Later.
Nancy, what a shame to have lost those papers. And to think that we almost lost the house. Rose is very fortunate to have you here.
Did you hear anything in the parlor before the fire started?
No, I'm afraid not. I'm somewhat isolated here. With these thick walls, I barely hear anything.
Were the papers very valuable?
Not for my purposes, no. But they must have had some sentimental value.
I was wondering whether you knew anything about someone named E. Valdez.
E. Valdez. No, I've never heard of that name. But I'll jot it down and let you know if I come across it anywhere.
What kind of antique store do you own?
It's a gallery, not a store. And it's called Chandler Interiors, specializing in the Victorian period. I have clients from all over the world, and if I don't have what they're looking for, I find it.
Was this house once a hotel?
That's hard to say. The house has been renovated many times, but several of its original features, such as the saloon and staircase, seem to indicate that it may have been a hotel. Unfortunately, there are no records on this house before 1906.
Do you know why the fireplace in the parlor didn't have a screen?
No, I don't. Now I remember. I was to purchase an antique fire screen, but never found a suitable match. I feel just terrible. I must apologize to Rose about this.
Do you know who Lizzie Applegate was?
Yes, I certainly do. She was a very popular actress in the late 1800s. She was very generous and left all of her money to the Ladies' Protection Society.
What was the Ladies' Protection Society?
A popular charity in the early 1900s. They helped widows and orphans.
Have you seen the poem in my room?
Oh, that one. Yes, it's just some cheap Chinatown souvenir.
Cheap
Do you
Chinatown
know what a
souvenir, huh?
phoenix is?
Yes, it's a mythical bird-like creature that builds a nest every 500 years and then sets itself on fire to rise forth, reborn from its ashes. It's a very popular symbol in the Bay Area. In fact, there's one on the main staircase.
Do you think Charlie is doing a good job?
Certainly. He's rough around the edges, but he's reliable and learns very quickly. He's just what Rose and I need.
Did Lizzie ever wear men's clothing?
I'm sure she played some roles where she had to dress as a man, but she was quite an elegant woman, quite fashionable for her time.
I won't keep you any longer.
Nice to see you again.
Okay. Let's take a look at the scene of the crime. These don't look like... These look like letters. They don't look like the residue from the papers. She's not here.
Well, excuse me for trying to find some ways to promote this place. It's good business sense. Well, I guess...
So you never see them when they're having this argument, but at least you can hear it.
Given up. You want the mansion to burn to the ground. That way you won't have to worry about losing your investment. You'll just collect the insurance. How dare you? Are you accusing me of fraud? I'm sorry, Rose. I don't know. It's just... all these accidents and now this. I know you're dedicated to this house. I'm sorry for doubting you. Let's just finish up these curtains. I think the stress of the last 2 weeks finally got the better of us.
Alright. Something there. But if you stick around long enough. Okay, so Abby usually goes out at 3 and returns at 6, but since because they had that argument, she has left early, so we can look in the room, but gotta go do it before she returns at 6, otherwise you get kicked out for snooping around. So Corey fell in love with Lizzie Applegate. So here, another symbol.
When the moon sleeps and the sun plays.
Chinese symbols. This is going to come in handy towards the end, the order in which they're listed here. The zodiac symbols, right? So she can see from behind this. So she's spying on people here. So there's the turban she was wearing at the seance. So this is a little key, it goes here. So she got that camera there, and look. Most of the sounds we've already heard, this is where they're coming from. Although some of them seem to just happen randomly, like that corner of the living room with the or when we first entered Nancy's room after the seance. The sound effect. Okay, this was one sound effect I've never heard anywhere in all the years I've played this. The only one. I think this plays when Rose isn't there in the dining room, when you go up to those candles and they light on and off. Now that sound, that's one I rarely get. But you get it, sometimes if you go in the living room and the phone rings and you go to pick it up, it makes that sound. But that rarely happens. It's just at random, so fortunately I can't show it to you. If it happens in this video, fine. But if it doesn't, I can't do anything.
Who has called me forth from the great beyond?
Gotta put the spider back. Oh, there's the crystal ball she had at the seance, too. Now let's, among places to explore, there's still the library. After Lewis leaves, we can pull the switch now that the tiles are in place, but also there's that fire pit place. I'll have to use the crowbar, so let's just set it to 5 or 6 even. And so that when everyone's gone, you can look around. First we'll go to the library, because there's something in there first that we'll need to get. Look, a phoenix symbol there too. It's a secret room. I mean, I love it when we find hidden passages or passageways, hidden rooms, whatever you want to call them. Look at this. Another symbol.
Listen, my child,
To this story of dreams. The first line of the poem. Okay, we're gonna need this, the lantern, before we can explore down in the fireplace. So, look, pair of hidden eyes. So that means we can spy on whoever comes in here. So what do you say tomorrow morning? We set it to peep before Lewis comes in. So yeah, we'll need this lantern here to go down. Although I don't think you don't need to drag it with you all the way, at least just to here is always where I put it down. Because if you try to explore in the dark, you'll get Lucy killed and you'll have to go to second chance. Look, someone's living here and it's a two-way mirror. Well, guess who it is? Charlie! He's living back here.
the king of the sky will shine his ray.
So it looks like he's learning about... He said Diego Valdez, but here's someone, El Diablo. Could they be the same person? I mean, El Diablo is Spanish for the devil, so it sounds like it could be an alias. Stolen. Had apparently stolen some treasure. if you remember that book that I found about in Abby's room, it talks about Lizzie Applegate, who became a member of El Diablo's bandit gang of bandits. President of the Great Christmas Robbery, I think it was called. Does that mean there's treasure hidden somewhere in this mansion? I think so. Well, now that we've got this diskette, this game is so old. I mean, I think floppy disks, diskettes, that they've become obsolete by now. I think the last time I used one was when I was in college. You can play the maze game again if you want, but I don't feel like it, so we'll just log in. Password, remember, is Antiques. Oops, I forgot to insert the disc. Oh, so it gives us his last name, Charlie Murphy. Applegate connection. Now let's, next thing we'll do is have to spy on Lewis through that hidden room, so let's set the alarm before noon so that we can go in there before and watch him, maybe see what he does before he comes. Well, I'll set it to 10 because I want to confront Abby. When you walk by that mirror and you see that apparent ghost pass all the way, then you can confront her with something. We'll make a confrontation with her about that she's the one, the apparent ghost.
Morning, Nancy.
Hello.
I found out how you wired the house to make it haunted. The only ghost who walks these halls is you, Abby.
And so it is, I admit it. But I had you fooled there, didn't I? If I can fool Nancy Drew, I'm sure I'll be able to fool even our most skeptical guests.
Why did you go to all the trouble to do this?
For the publicity. But I really do think there's something going on in this house. I really believe it's haunted. I'm just enhancing the spectral experience.
Are you sure you haven't caused any of these accidents with your stunts?
Yes, I'm sure. I've been very careful with everything.
Does Charlie live around here?
I'm not sure. He said he's between apartments. I think he said he's staying with friends until he can find a place of his own.
Is Charlie from the Bay Area?
I don't know. You might want to ask Rose. He doesn't talk much about his private life.
Between apartments? That seems kind of odd.
Not for San Francisco. Rents are really high, and there are so many kids thinking they can find cheap housing out here. It's sad to say, but a lot of them end up on the streets.
I'll let you get back to what you were doing.
See you later.
Okay, now let's go spy on Lewis before he arrives at noon. He's coming.
Lewis is up to something.
Aha! That's it!
Lewis, are you in there?
I'll be right there.
He's hiding something in his briefcase.
Hey, now let's look. So I didn't mention it before, but when we logged into his computer to get his passwords, we got his laptop one, but also his briefcase. So there's two sides of it. First time I played this myself, I correctly guessed that one half of it was 4653, which is actually the address of the house. But the other half is 4868. Okay, here's a book he picked up.
Gumbo food? What's that?
Okay, you don't want to spend too much time looking at through his briefcase though, because he'll come back. But here's a reference to the previous game. I don't want to go into all the details there because I don't want to spend time reading it, but we'll talk about it. Looks like that's something about maybe meeting Rose and Abby first. Okay, look at this here, and then I gotta go. I don't know, maybe it takes you like less than 2 minutes. If you spend too much time looking in the briefcase, he's going to come back and catch you and you'll get kicked out. Okay, so the next step might not seem obvious, but we have to call a friend of Nancy's named Emily, who actually lives here in San Francisco. We never see her, but we have to call her to ask her about get this meeting of Gumbo Foo.
This is Emily.
Hi, Emily. It's Nancy Drew.
Nancy Drew? I haven't heard from you in ages. How's Hannah in River Heights? You're not in San Francisco, are you, my dear?
Actually, I am. I'm helping one of Hannah's friends, Rose Green, renovate this wonderful old Victorian mansion. She wants to open up a bed and breakfast.
Seems to be the trend these days. I'll bet you're staying in the Haight-Ashbury district.
The address is 4653 California Lane. Is that anywhere near there?
No, I think you're in the Heights. The Haight has many Victorians that have been restored, and a lot of them have been converted into bed and breakfasts. You know, you're lucky you caught me at home. I've been traveling most of these days, but after that crazy tour of Egypt. By the way, riding a camel is not as easy as it looks. My editor gave me an assignment right here in town. It'll be on the Dragons of San Francisco.
Dragons of San Francisco sounds exotic. What kind of dragons are you researching?
Chinese dragons. My editor thought this would make a great topic for a photo essay. The dragon is a very important symbol in Chinese culture.
So it seems. My room is full of Chinese decorations.
Oh, sure. Many of the Victorians have rooms with themes, usually colors or cultures. I once spent a night in a Victorian where each room had a bird theme. Don't laugh, but I stayed in the nuthatch room.
You're kidding. Why do they call these mansions Victorian?
They're named after Queen Victoria, who pretty much defined high society in the late 1800s. After the gold rush, San Francisco had a building boom, but most of the great Victorian mansions weren't built until the late 1800s. Nowadays, it's very popular to convert them into bed and breakfasts.
The gold rush was in 1849, right?
The big one, yes. There was a huge increase in the city's population, and San Francisco had a reputation for being a lawless frontier town. Lots of people made a quick fortune here and lost it just as fast. Oh dear, am I talking too much? I get so distracted at times I tend to get carried away a bit. So how are you, Nancy? Why did you call? Is there anything I can help you out with?
Can you tell me about the Chinese writing system? I seem to come across a lot of Chinese symbols.
Oh, it doesn't surprise me. The Chinese have been an important part of San Francisco history for over 100 years. The symbols are called Hanzi, and each one represents a particular thing, or an idea, or an action. You find them all over on business cards, takeout cartons, artwork.
What do you know about the Bandit's Treasure?
Bandit's Treasure? Oh, you mean the play? The Rep did a season where they performed old local plays, including the Bandit's Treasure. I've never seen it, but I hear the music is fantastic.
I found some old papers in the house, plus a page from a phone directory dated 1894.
Oh, that sounds valuable. It's hard to find old documents like that before 1906.
Have you ever heard of the Ladies' Protection Society?
No, but it sounds like some turn-of-the-century charity. There were all these private agencies that helped out widows and orphans before the government took on that role.
Have you heard of an antique dealer named Louis Chandler?
Nope, never heard of it.
Have You've heard of an actress, Lizzie Applegate?
Oh, sure. She was a good friend of Lotta Crabtree, another popular actress in the late 1800s. As I recall, she opened up a big hotel. What was it called? The Hotel Mandrake or the Oriental? I forget.
Was it in this neighborhood? Is it still around?
Oh, no, this one was downtown. It was very big, but I think it burned down.
Have you ever come across these hidden rooms in Victorian mansions?
No. But I've read that many houses were only partially rebuilt after the Great Earthquake, closing off damaged rooms from the rest of the house.
Do you know what Yerba Buena town is?
That's what San Francisco was called back during the Spanish colonial period, but no one calls it that anymore.
Tell me about the Spanish and San Francisco.
Oh, you could write a book on that. The Spanish were the first Europeans to settle this area during the 1700s, and it stayed that way until after the Mexican-American War when it was handed over to the United States. It couldn't have happened at a better time because gold was discovered outside the city not more than 2 years later.
With all of that gold around, I'd imagine there's a lot of buried treasure in this town.
Yeah, you'd think that, but I've never heard of any in San Francisco, except for Treasure Island out in the bay. But that's named after the book, not some legend.
Do you know what the words gumbo foo mean?
Sounds Chinese to me. Why don't you ask everyone what they think it means? It may have something to do with the house. In the meantime, I'll ask my friends about it. Gumbo foo.
Well, I don't know if anyone could hear it, but actually once Emily starts talking about Gumbo Foo, you'll hear a door open and close, so that must have been Louis going to get his briefcase.
I should get going. Goodbye, Emily.
Call anytime.
Now if you want it for clarification, yeah, it's gone. Okay, just coming in here to see if I could get the phone to ring, but no, it probably won't happen. It's like one of the rare thing to happen in a rare moment. You can't know when it's going to happen, and when it does, it does. Can't prepare for it, can't just don't want to know when it's coming.
Hello.
So we'll ask everyone what it means.
Do you know what gumbo foo means?
Gumbo foo? I love gumbo. What kind of gumbo is gumbo foo?
I'll let you get back to what you were doing.
See you later.
Let's ask Charlie what he thinks it means. So let's also
Hi, Nancy.
confront
What's
him.
up?
Confront him then.
Charlie, I found this diskette. I think it's yours.
I was wondering where it was. Thanks a lot, Nancy. Luckily, I had a backup in the school.
Was it El Diablo who stole the gold, or someone else?
It was definitely El Diablo, but no one knows who he was. In my opinion, El Diablo never existed. He was a composite of different outlaws from that era.
Whatever happened to the gold?
Nobody knows. Some historians say that the bank faked the robbery to collect the insurance money.
Had you come across any hidden passageways down here?
You mean like a trapdoor leading to a room with skeletons or something? No, I haven't.
Do you know what the words gumbo foo mean?
I'm not sure. Never heard that before.
Now let's confront him about
Charlie,
what he's...
I know your secret. I know you're living in the hidden room behind the saloon.
Please don't tell Rose. I have no place to stay.
Why do you live in there?
I was homeless, camping out in parks. One day I was looking for a place to get out of the rain, so I ducked under some bushes, found this hidden panel that led to the secret room. Nancy, I didn't mean any harm. I just needed a place to live.
I really think you should tell Rose. But I'll keep your secret if you help me out.
It's a deal, and I will tell Rose. What do you need?
I'm guessing you saw Abby's seance. What else have you seen from that two-way mirror?
Once I saw Louis tapping on the floors and walls. He could have been checking for termites, but it was kind of weird if you ask me.
I'll let you get back to your renovation.
Later, and thanks, Nancy, for keeping my secret. I'll tell Rose.
Okay, so Lewis is here. Let's ask her, because when I ask Rose, she has something important to tell us, so I like to leave that for last. Still no phone ring.
Yes, Nancy.
Do you know what gumbo boo means?
Where did you hear that?
Do not say that you found it in a book, because then he'll know that you were snooping in his briefcase. And you'll
read
get kicked
about
out
it in
again.
a magazine.
I see. As I recall, it means House of Great Books. After the Great Earthquake, many books and documents were stored in private homes to save them from the fires. The Chinese called those houses gumbo fu.
I won't keep you any longer.
Goodbye.
This is only something I recently discovered, that you can call Emily again, but she kind of pressed to hurry out and get you off the phone, but she says she'll still find out what it means.
Hi, Emily. It's Nancy.
Listen, my dear, I'm off to a photo shoot in Mexico, even though I don't know why they're sending me down there again. I just got back a couple of months ago, but who knows what goes on in my editor's mind, always thinking of new ways to make my life miserable. Anyway, what was I saying? Oh, yes, I'll find out what that phrase means before I go, okay? Okay, good luck. Glad you dropped by. You know, I wanted to tell you that you'll be alone in the house for a while. Everyone is going to the Winter Festival, and Charlie's studying for finals. I also took down one of the tapestries in your room for dry cleaning, and what was the other thing? Oh, a messenger dropped off a letter for you. I put it in your room.
Are you missing any papers?
Funny you should ask. Yes, I did misplace some old letters, but I'm sure they'll show up soon.
Do you know what gumbo boo means?
No, not that I can remember.
I can see you're busy. I'll let you go.
Don't work too hard.
Okay, we're almost at the end of the game. We'll just go up to Nancy's room and find that letter. Probably from Emily. Here it is. Gold Treasure Mansion. And the last of the symbols. And now here we come to the final step we're towards the end of the game, and now we're at the final step. This tapestry reveals this. Those Chinese symbols. Now, remember the order. So we have to press them in the order they were in that book from Abby's room. So, rat, ox, tiger, rabbit, dragon, snake, horse, goat, monkey, rooster, dog, boar. And here we go. Remember I said at the beginning of the game that I think the true message, the message in the Haunted Mansion, as per the title, is that poem. That's because it's those lines with those highlighted words are all here with the Chinese symbols. What's happening right here now in these final moments is exactly as it's find in the poem. We are following directions to find the gold. So here we have the 10 daughters to reunite in order, because we'll have to push the symbols one by one, starting with this. Listen, my child, to this story of dreams, and know that the beginning is more difficult than it seems. When the 10 daughters are reunited in order, when the four-sided box loses its border, when the eye of the phoenix is in your hand, when the bird of fire can see again, when the moon sleeps and the sun plays, the king of the sky will shine his ray, and hidden beneath a river of colors will lie a gate to golden wonders. And here, that key that we picked on from the false floor goes here. This is the four-sided box, the prism. Now we have to turn all these moons to suns. Remember in Abby's room they had moons and suns? Now we have to get the phoenix here. Oh, I hate these puzzles. Oh, fiddlesticks. Here we go. And now the four-sided box will lose its border because we have the eye of the phoenix in our hand. Remember that place on the stairs that has the missing eye? Well, that's where this goes. And it looks like, yes, Diego Valdez and Lizzie Applegate married. Looks like this was her own room, her own safe. Her last will and testament. Looks like he went off on another mission and never returned. Maybe it's not clear. And it looks like he loved her very much. But he never dared to call her Lizzie. He always called her Elizabeth. So now let's close up the safe, because this will lead us to the gold. Okay, now that's when the eye of the phoenix in our hand, when the bird of fire can see again, when the moon sleeps and the sun plays, meaning when it's daytime, the king of the sky will shine his ray, hidden beneath the river of colors.
It's stuck.
Will lie a gate to golden wonders.
Gold! And to think I was standing on it all along.
It's Lewis.
Too bad no one will ever find out about it.
Lewis?
I knew it. There must be over $1 million in here.
I've got to stop him before he gets away.
Gotta do that. Can't go up the opposite stairs because they're creak and he'll hear us. So what you do then is pull the chandelier down. Now, as I said, the other side might be quicker to get to this, but the stairs creak, so you'll hear us if we went up. So we have to go on the opposite side.
But hey! Hey! Get me out of here!
Killed him.
Dear Bess, I'm just about finished with my renovations and counting out all of those gold coins. Lewis was behind all of the accidents, hoping to pressure Rose into selling the house so he could find the treasure himself. Although Rose and Abby may not have a legal right to the gold, the bank the coins were stolen from will still give them a reward for finding it. The house also has gotten a lot of publicity with all of the news stories, and the place is booked solid for the first month of its opening. I guess a haunted bed and breakfast with hidden treasures is all the rage these days, even if there are no such things as ghosts. I think. See you soon, Nancy.
Alright, and that's the end of my second full walkthrough for Nancy Drew with Message in a Haunted Mansion. Hope you enjoyed it. So since making my first video, I think I've learned from any mistakes I made, what mistakes I made the first time. I tried to be a little more quiet with the mouse so that the mic won't pick up all these loud sounds from it. So just like hold it down in the corner to make less noise when I click it. Now, by the time this recording is finished, the audio may again be out of sync with the video, but hopefully not by much. But I'm definitely going to get a new computer, Windows 10 hopefully, so that I can play the games on a better running computer, make better walkthroughs, so that the timing and in the audio and the visuals is in sync. I mean, I'm not happy with some of the imperfections these videos have or will have, but I'm just starting on this. I can't expect it to be perfect, but I just hope you enjoy this video and my first video, and there will be more to come. I will also be uploading the games with these same games without a commentary from me, so well, I hope you liked both, but I hope you like hearing my comments on these as well, because this is actually fun to do. I like sharing what I need to say and I've wanted to say, even if sometimes I do make some sarcastic wisecracks. So enjoy this recording, and I'll see you guys in the next video. See ya.